In a small town, there lived a boy named Rohan. He was intelligent, hard-working, and had big dreams. However, he had one habit that often got him into trouble. He talked too much. Whenever he learned something new, he couldn't keep it to himself. He would announce his plans to everyone, whether it was about his studies, his ambitions, or even personal goals. Rohan believed that sharing his plans would motivate him, and he loved the attention and praise he received from others. His friends admired his ideas, his family felt proud of his ambition, and his teachers often encouraged him. But despite his big talks, Rohan struggled to achieve success. One day, he met an old wise man named Guruji in the town's temple. Guruji had seen Rohan many times, always talking about his future. That day, Guruji called him and asked, "Son, you always talk about your dreams, but have you achieved them yet?" Rohan hesitated. He had set many goals, but had accomplished very little. He replied, "Guruji, I try my best, but things don't go as planned." Guruji smiled and said, "Let me tell you a story that will help you understand why." Long ago, in a village, there was a farmer named Dev. He was poor but very hardworking. Dev had a dream to own a large farm filled with crops. Every day he worked tirelessly, saving every penny. However, he had one rule. He never spoke about his plans to anyone. People in the village often asked, "Dev, what are you working so hard for?" But he would just smile and say, "You'll see when the time is right." Years passed, and slowly, Dev bought small pieces of land. He planted crops, expanded his farm, and built a beautiful house. The villagers were shocked at how he had achieved so much without ever boasting about it. One day, an old friend of Dev's visited him and asked, "Why didn't you ever tell anyone about your plans?" Dev replied with a smile, "When you talk too much about your dreams, two things happen. First, people discourage you. And second, your energy is wasted in talking instead of working. Silence protects your goals. Words are like arrows. Once shot, they cannot return. I chose to let my success speak instead." Hearing the story, Rohan was deep in thought. Guruji continued, "Son, when you speak too much about your goals, two things happen. First, people may discourage you. Not everyone will be happy for your success. Second, the excitement you feel about your goal fades away. When you talk, your mind believes you have already achieved something, and you lose the motivation to actually work for it." Rohan now understood why his plans never worked. He was spending too much energy talking instead of acting. He asked, "Guruji, can I still change myself?" Guruji smiled and said, "Of course. From today, speak less and act more. Let your success make the noise, not your words. Remember, silence is powerful." From that day, Rohan changed his ways. He stopped discussing his plans with everyone. Instead, he focused on taking action. He studied harder, worked towards his dreams in silence, and avoided unnecessary discussions. As months passed, Rohan saw a difference. He was achieving more, his confidence grew, and he no longer needed external validation. When the results of his final exams were announced, Rohan had topped the school. People were surprised by his transformation. His friends asked, "How did you do it?" Rohan just smiled and remembered Guruji's words, "Be silent and get everything." Years later, Rohan became a successful entrepreneur, inspiring others with his story. He proved that real success comes not from talking, but from acting. Sometimes silence is the most powerful tool. Speak less, work more, and let your success do the talking.